Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Herman, and in today's video, I'm going to do a review of my experience flying first class domestic on American Airlines. This was the first flight in my 2.5-week trip to Asia and started off from Tampa to Chicago. For the ground experience, going through security, even if you're flying first class domestic, it does not include TSA PreCheck.
Unlike in many other airlines, like US Airlines, domestic first class doesn't get you lounge access. So sadly, I can't go into the Admirals Club lounge unless I had an Admirals Club membership to get in.
This flight was on a Boeing 737 with a first class cabin configuration of 2x2, with my seat being in 5A. But flying first class does give you boarding group 1 access, which allows you to board before most passengers after pre-boarding, people with disabilities, or people with top tier status. First thing I noticed was that the cabin was very clean and very spacious, especially the seat. Even if you are a tall passenger, I don't think you'll have any problem finding comfort in this flight. And the staff was very friendly upon arrival. The seat, being a little larger, does contain a few additional places for storage, such as in the armrests, as well as a larger recline than other economy class seats. And after seating, the crew came around to pass pre-boarding drinks, which were either water or orange juice. The flight took off without any delays, and we were on our way to Chicago. But one thing you notice right away when you're sitting down on the seat is that the flight doesn't have any seat in-flight entertainment, but it does come with free Wi-Fi if you have T-Mobile. Sadly, the Wi-Fi was not working that day, but I still make sure to bring my iPad to watch movies during the flight. And since the tray table is rather large, you should be able to fit most devices very comfortably right on it. Even when some airlines advertise good in-flight entertainment, I would still highly recommend having your own prepared just in case for situations like this where maybe the ones in your seat doesn't work, the Wi-Fi doesn't work, or their app also doesn't work. But even in a 3-hour short-haul flight like this one, you do still get a full breakfast served if you sit in first class. I didn't get the option to choose my breakfast prior to going on the flight, but I think if you're flying out of an American Airlines hub, you would be able to choose and have more selections because they'll have their own catering in order to accommodate on the flights. Although you are always able to choose if you have any dietary restrictions prior to the flight, so that is always an option. And right after finishing my meal, I decided to test out the full recline in the chair. Even though it's not a huge recline, it is still very noticeable from economy. Also, first class gets their own separate lavatory, but there wasn't really any difference between it and the economy one. And before I knew it, the time between Tampa and Chicago flew by. Pun intended.
Overall, how did I like the flight? Here it was really nice. I've flown first class in American before domestic, and it's always a very consistent experience. I've always liked it. The food is actually pretty good. It's not the best food. Obviously, it's usually airplane food, no matter which airline you get. Maybe with the exception of like Emirates or Qatar, it's not going to be incredible, but it is good, especially for a breakfast. It's still very filling, so you don't want to stuff yourself in it, and just really wait for the big meals when you arrive at your destination. But one good thing though is that when you fly first class, is that your bags get tagged with a priority sticker, so they usually tend to come out first, or they usually try to get them out as quickly as possible. So if you do check your bags, then you can at least retrieve them as early as possible and not have to wait for as long as others. But sometimes I've had to where I did get that priority tag on my bags, and my still came out dead last. So they usually try to do it, but it's not a 100% guarantee.
And the final thing to cover is the cost of the flight. This was an all-cash booking, so there were no fancy redemptions in this particular situation. But I did use a travel credit that I had from a long time ago. Because originally I booked an economy class of seat, which was around $130 for the one-way flight from Tampa to Chicago. But I decided to look in my American Airlines account to see if I had any travel credits from a long time ago. And it turns out that I had a $148 credit. And as it got closer to the flight, I did get a prompt from American Airlines that if I wanted to upgrade from economy to first class, it was going to be $160 to upgrade my seat. Since the flight credit is going to expire in May of 2025, and I don't have any plans to travel on American Airlines between now and then, I decided to just use the credit because if I didn't use it, I would lose it. So I decided to just book the upgrade. So in all, it was just under $300 for the first class flight from Tampa to Chicago. So if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And in the comments, let me know if you've ever flown first class on American or you plan to do so in the very near future. And until next time, bye.